Hello guys and welcome back to another video in our channel. In our video today we are going to look at the Premier League roundup and we're going to focus on the match between Chelsea and Bournemouth, where Chelsea actually managed to win that game, making it 5 wins in a row. Moses Caicedo scored one of the most scintillating goals of the season, and this game showcased Pochettino's tactical improvements with regards to his team. Also, this game showcased the farewell match for Thiago Silva, who will be leaving the club, and he's been a very good professional, one of the best defenders to ever play for this club. He has actually stuck to the club when the club was in its most difficult moments, and this was a very good game for him and a very good send-off for him. Manchester City managed to make history yesterday again by winning 4 titles in a row. And this Manchester City team is actually getting shouts as one of the best teams to ever play in Europe, and actually the best team in Premier League history, because they managed to achieve something that is so not so easy. And we are going to do an analysis on Manchester City. Also, yesterday we also had their farewell game for Jurgen Klopp. He had a very remarkable speech for the fans, and I would really like to do an in-depth analysis on how Klopp transformed Liverpool and how he's leaving Liverpool. As he said, he will turn doubters into believers, and I actually thought that was a very good send-off for Jurgen Klopp. And back to our topic of discussion today, we're also going to I'm also touching a bit on Manchester City's running, and we are now looking to see how, if Chelsea wants to go towards the next step forward, they need to know how to beat teams, especially towards the end of the season. Something that Chelsea have done this season, but you see the consistency Manchester City is putting. These are the levels where Chelsea need to get to. And let's look at the lineup that Pochettino picked up in this game. So Chalobah started ahead of Gusto, and Raheem Sterling started ahead of Christopher Nkunku. And I believe this lineup was so strong. I believe that this lineup was capable of beating Bournemouth. And we're going to look at the tactical aspects that Pochettino has done, but we have seen much improvement, especially with the player relations on the pitch. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. So, Chelsea lined up in a 4-2-3-1, so did Bournemouth. And Bournemouth initially tried to press Chelsea high up the pitch, and I've shown you again how Chelsea beat this press. They start their wingers high and wide on either side, and they push also Nicholas Jackson high. So the position of having these spacey wingers high and wide is to pin the opposition backline deeper. Then once you do this, what you see is Cole Palmer and Conor Gallagher push on to the half spaces and play in slightly withdrawn positions in between the two midfielders. And what happens here is that we see Cucurella inverting in midfield earlier on. And this is aided with Thiago Silva moving from the centre-back position and also starting in that central position in midfield, with Trevor Chalobah and Benoit Badiashile playing on either side of Petrovic. And once this happens, Chelsea forms the box midfield high up the pitch. Looking at this lineup, you can see the position of Petrovic, position of Chalobah, and position of Thiago Silva, with Cucurella and Caicedo looking to start deeper, and this is giving Caicedo the time to receive the ball in less dangerous places. You can see here again, Bournemouth are looking to press Chelsea, and look at the position of Thiago Silva. You see the position of Thiago Silva when Benoit receives the ball and plays this ball to Silva. Now Chelsea have already beaten the first 2 lines of pressure, and this is something that actually Chelsea should be looking to do. Now, once Chelsea received the ball in this position, we started to see that Bournemouth really tried to commit themselves to pressing Chelsea in this position. But Chelsea could easily play the ball to Cucurella or Caicedo and beat these first 2 lines of pressure, and look sometimes to create those transition moments by having their front 5 running at Bournemouth's back line. And Chelsea should have actually won this game quite fast in the initial phases of the play. So Bournemouth decided to sit in a mid-block, and Chelsea retained their similar structure, wide wingers, as I explained why Chelsea need to have wide wingers, 2 attacking players in the number 10 position, Nicholas Jackson, and Cucurella inverting in that midfield region. Thiago Silva played as the middlemost centre-back, with Chalobah and Benoit Badiashile flanking him on either side. Now, this position forced Bournemouth to go into a 4-4-2, but because Chelsea were building with a 3-man backline, they were automatically able to outnumber Bournemouth. And you can see from this position, the position of Silva and the position of Benoit and Trevor Chalobah. So in this position, what we started to see sometimes is even Bournemouth committing 2 players to try and cover Chelsea's pivot and using a front 3 to try and press Chelsea's centre-back. And this is where Chelsea used another weapon that they normally use. You can see here, the front 3 are pressing Chelsea's 3 centre-backs, while the 2 midfielders have pushed on to Caicedo and Marc Cucurella as they are trying to force Chelsea not to play through the middle and actually force them back. And Chelsea have known how to adapt themselves in these kinds of situations, and that is by drawing a midfielder from that half space position onto the wide areas, because when you push your midfielders high up to press, then the free 8s are free, and that's why you saw Cole Palmer drifting into this pseudo right back position with Noni Madueke covering the fullback, and Palmer receiving this ball here. And once Palmer receives this ball here, he is receiving the ball with acres of space ready to turn, with Noni Madueke also holding the touchline down the right hand flank. And now this was creating a 2v1 overload against Bournemouth's fullbacks. Now this structure was really interesting for Chelsea. And once Noni Madueke will receive this ball in this position, his main aim will either be trying to dribble past the fullback or try to play the balls in the half space for the runs of Cole Palmer. Sometimes Chalobah would push forward and try to play as an orthodox right back, in this position creating that box with also Caicedo shifting across. The main aim that Chelsea used to create these overloads for is to draw players onto that side of the pitch and look to shift the play. You can see the position of Chalobah, the position of Noni Madueke, Cole Palmer, and also Nicholas Jackson, who's drifting towards that right hand side. The main aim is to create spaces, because once the opponent decide to shift towards this side of the pitch, what you're going to notice is that the ball is going to be played across onto the other side of the pitch, where Raheem Sterling is able to receive the ball and look to make direct runs. And that is what resulted in Chelsea's second goal, with Sterling receiving the ball in space and looking to dribble through that Bournemouth backline and try to shoot the ball. Now, because Chelsea was so dominant in these kinds of position, and Bournemouth decided to press Chelsea's pivots high up the pitch, the spaces in between the lines started to open up, but Chelsea decided to stagger their pivots. Staggering pivots makes teams so difficult to press your pivots. As you can see here, Badiashile has the ball, you can see Caicedo has dropped deeper and Cucurella has pushed forward. Now Bournemouth are uncertain who to press, because if they decide to press Caicedo, he can easily play the ball back to Trevor Chalobah. Now you can see Caicedo receives the ball, plays in Cucurella, and now Chelsea are looking to have as many as 6 players attacking Bournemouth backline, with players such as Gallagher dropping deep to receive this ball in this position, and them having an opportunity to play this ball either to a player such as Cole Palmer, and in some instances Cole Palmer should have actually finished one chance earlier on in the game when he received this ball. And it will be quite interesting to see how Enzo Fernandez can play in this Conor Gallagher role, especially with the inversion of Cucurella. Now, when Chalobah receives this ball in this position, sometimes we started to see Noni Madueke dropping so deep, looking to pull the opposition fullback out of position. And once he did this, he opened up that space in the channel where Cole Palmer will be looking to attack. Even when Cole Palmer looked to drop deep in this position to try and create that overload with Noni, we started to see Jackson making that out to in run to receive the ball in that position and actually look to push Chelsea high up the pitch. And sometimes he had opportunities to cross, but Bournemouth were able to clear those cutbacks. Now, what about when Chelsea did not have the ball? What did Chelsea do when they didn't have the ball? So Bournemouth, as usual, tried to play out from the back with a 4-1-4-1 system, and Chelsea decided to press with a 4-4-2 diamond by having 2 players looking to aggressively push forward to press against against Bournemouth. Now, this pressing strategy involved Cole Palmer joining Jackson, and what you'll find in this position is that they will try to force the play to be played on one side of the pitch. You can see here, Jackson is already pushing forward, looking to press the centre back, and you can see Chelsea are trying to force Bournemouth to play on one side of the pitch. And Conor Gallagher will push forward to aggressively apply the press and force them to play on one side of the pitch, where they will look to try and win the ball. So, and this aggressive high press worked for Chelsea in the first half, when they tried to actually force those situations and turnovers where they could have their players win the ball and immediately look to make those counter attacks. And that's how Caicedo managed to score first Chelsea goal. And that one was from a counter press. So what we saw when Bournemouth had the ball, again they tried to use that 4-1-4-1 system that they like to use, with Cook being the one who plays narrow. Chelsea decided to just use one player during build-up and during the press, and that is Jackson, to force the play towards one centre-back and use their wingers in that 4-4-1 formation to try and win the ball, especially in the wide areas. And immediately Chelsea won the ball in these regions, their first aim was to try and link up play, either by Jackson dropping deep, and immediately look to play that quick pass onto Raheem Sterling, something that Jackson does in every game. And this is a clip that shows that. You can see here, Jackson won the ball, played the ball on to Cole Palmer in this position. Palmer is the one who's making the runs. And you can see now Chelsea are looking to try and transition. Bournemouth have lost the ball. Here again, you can see Chelsea have won the ball in this part of the pitch, and you can see immediately players such as Jackson, you can see Cole Palmer, you can see Noni Madueke are making runs because Conor Gallagher has won the ball and is actually progressing with the ball forward. And this indicates tactical adjustments that Poch has done. So the Premier League table is done, and Chelsea, after a very, very poor season, have managed to finish 6th, which is quite remarkable. In my opinion, I believe that Chelsea could have actually gotten the Champions League this season, if, especially in the second half, if they managed to win at Villa, Burnley and Sheffield United, they would have easily finished in the top 4. But if buts and maybes, they finished 6th, and they hope Manchester City can do the job in the FA Cup and secure them Europa League. Pochettino's second leg form has been great. He's actually had the 4th most points in the second leg, and that is quite remarkable for him and showing progress in the team. And we'd like to see what he'll do next season, though I'm looking to make a video to try and compare and contrast Pochettino's time at Chelsea. My main aim in this video is trying to see how Pochettino has tried to outperform Chelsea last season. Though there are some glaring weaknesses when you look at both teams, we are going to look at the attacking side, comparing this season and last season, the defensive side, this season and last season, comparing the stats, comparing the transfers, comparing whatever has happened at the club. And we're also going to look at what role the ownership has played in this season. So thank you for staying with us until the end of this video, and I wish you a very nice time. Thanks for watching.